Welcome everyone, Farmer Cop here. This is part 5 of my tutorial series on how to use Global Company. If this is what you're looking for, please stay tuned. Alright folks, welcome. So today we're going to take a look at a couple more mods. So the ones we're going to look at today I'm going to put up on the screen. So we looked at honey last week as part of productions. This week we're going to look at tree fruit. So honey's already been covered. We're going to look at tree fruits, and we're going to look a little bit at productions, though we looked at most of the kind of production aspects of it as part of the honey one. So I recommend going and watching that one first before you watch this one on tree fruits. But anyhow, so let's go ahead and jump into it here. So a couple things to note: we're going to use these today. These things are all liftable. We're going to use this style. We're not going to use these ones here or here. So these are in the store. They do have, does this one have tension straps? Yes, they do have tension straps on them. If we go into the store here under, it's gonna be under here, under productions, they're right here. So these ones we need. These two are on here and available. They just said different things can be stored in empty pallets. I couldn't get anything to go into it like that seemed to make sense to go into it. Like nothing like, it didn't seem like it filled up with anything automatically or anything like that as far as honey or tree fruits goes. So, but these do fill up automatically with the tree fruits, and it also says bulk things can be stored in here. So I'm not sure if you can put other stuff in there or not, but these are what we need. So I just wanted to cover these as part of the kit. So you can put stuff in them and use them to store stuff, but we aren't today. We're going to use these guys. So we have 4 fruit trees essentially that you can buy. So I have all 4 of them out here. So if we go under placeables, under fruit trees, there's the apple tree, cherry tree, plum tree, and pear tree. So I have apple, cherry, plum, and I have all of them out here regardless. And then also we went over this a little bit last week, or last time we had a Global Company tutorial, the farm shop. So we do need this. That's under Global Company all the way up, then this is the farm shop. So this sells honey as well as the fruit. So if you come up to it, it does have the sale of honey, but it has sale of apples, cherries, pears, and plums. So that is what we have going on as far as that goes. So in order to get these trees to produce, which by the way, if you go into the Global Company menu here over here, the trees don't show up here or under any of these. So only the farm shop shows up here. But if you come up to these and you hit R, you can access kind of a Global Company interface. So they all are the same in this manner, where they all will take manure and water. They require both to make whatever their fruit type is. So this will require manure and water to make apples. It can hold 2,000 liters of manure and 2,000 liters of water. And it can hold 1,000 kilograms, well, it ends up being liters essentially, of apples as the output. What we're going to do here is we're going to go ahead and fill them up to get them to start producing. So I'm going to show you each of these. So all you have to do, they're pretty easy to fill up. If we hop in here, this has manure in it. All we have to do is drive up next to it, and an eye will come up so we can go ahead and fill it up. We'll just fill them all up real quick. It's not that going to take that long, and then we'll fill them all up with water as well. So they hold 2,000 liters of each. When they are producing fruit, all of them produce fruit at a rate, which I'll show you as well inside their menu, but they produce fruit very slowly. They produce it at a rate of 8 liters per hour. So that's a total of 192 liters a day. So in a 24-hour period, they're only going to produce 192 liters of fruit. So for them to actually fill up that 1,000 liter capacity, they're gonna have to go for at least 5 days straight. All right, let's get over to this guy, and we'll go ahead and put water in each of these. Yeah, so just something to note. And another thing to note as well, if you are playing with seasons on, these only produce fruit, and I believe it's the fall and the summer, I believe is what I have written down here in my notes. So they only produce fruit in the fall and the summer, so they won't in the spring or the winter, which makes sense for at least the winter. I don't know how fruit works, so that probably makes sense for the spring as well. I don't know though. I don't know how fruit works. Go ahead and fill this guy up again because we're gonna need a little bit more water. All right, and we'll get this guy going. And they do require both. I've tried them with just manure and I've tried them with just water, and they don't do anything. So up out of here. So now they all, if we come up to them, 8 liters per hour, 2,000, 2,000, and that'll be the same for all of these going down the line. So if we fast forward time just a little bit here, because obviously they produce it very slow. So as you see, plums are building up there, pears are building up there, manure is going down, water is going down, cherries are building up, apples are building up. So as they're going down and they're going through this, they consume they essentially consume 8 liters per hour of water and manure. So what that kind of comes down to is every 1 liter of any fruit type you're going to get, you're going to burn through 1 liter of water and 1 liter of manure. So the 2,000 liters that we put in there of each type is going to give us 2,000 liters of fruit out, if that makes sense. So relatively easy math if you're trying to figure out how much you want to do and everything like that. Now, so that's all well and good. Let's go ahead and we'll stop that. Now, how do you get the fruit out of these? Obviously, the fruit's in there. There's no going on here. You can't have them displace any pallets or anything. So that's where these bins come in handy. So these bins, all you have to do, and you can have them next to it while they're producing fruit, but all you do is set them next to it and it'll automatically start filling. So that one's filling with pears. Now, if we go grab it, and I just have a trailer full of them here. We grab another one and we'll put it over here by, oh, that's what happens if you try to run with a placeable. We'll just set that there so that I can fill up with plums. And then we'll get one to set up over here next to the apples and the cherries. So here's cherries here, I believe. Yep, cherries there. All right, and we'll grab another one for the apples where we can throw it. Get this guy over here. So as far as how the store sells it, all you do is bring a pallet to the back, and I'll demonstrate that in a minute. And the store will sell them at 100 liters per hour. So it can hold 1,000 liters of fruit, and it sells it at 100 liters per hour. So you need a lot of trees to like keep this thing going. This could sell 2,400 liters of each fruit type every day. So you could put 2,400 liters of fruit through this every day. It only holds 1,000 liters at a time. Sells it at 100 liters an hour. You do get paid every hour on the hour as it goes through. So for example, if I take this has some apples in it. So if I go up here, it will just drain it, and now I can reuse this bin. So I could put this bin right next to the apples if I wanted to. And obviously they're not filling because there's nothing in there. If I come back in here, if I go down to apples, there's 181 liters in there. It'll sell them at 100 liters per hour. So that's basically what it comes down to there. Now you can also have multiple ones. So if I had this one next to the cherries as well, and I sped up time just a little bit, they're both going to start filling. So you can have more than one fill, and the trigger's pretty large. So you actually could have quite a few around it if you wanted to do that. Now I did try like loading them, like if they're on a trailer and you just pulled up next to the tree, would it unload them into the trailer if they were on the trailer? And it does not do that. Now one thing I haven't tried though is trying to, let's move this away from here. One thing I haven't tried is actually legitimately just pulling up next to one and trying to load it with just a regular trailer here. So let's go ahead and empty this out. And we'll try to load it from this. So this should have some on it. Now we'll try to go right up next to it here. Try to load, I'm hitting R. There's nothing coming up there. Okay, so that's what I figured. I figured it would have to be using these functions here. So yeah, that's basically the kind of the gist of the fruit trees. Now there is another thing I want to mention as far as sell price goes, and let me look down my list here. Oh, so each of these, I don't think I mentioned this, each of these bins here hold 1,000 liters of the fruit. So going down my list here, just trying to make sure I'm not missing anything that I want to mention. So okay, I don't see anything. Yeah, I don't see anything that I want to mention here. Okay, so the fruit pricing is a little weird. They all sell at different values, yet they all take the same amount, and they all basically function the same as far as productivity goes, but certain fruits are worth more. And I did test this multiple times for some of these to see if the price just fluctuated, and it kind of had that built in, but none of the prices fluctuated. They sold for the same amount every time, and I tested this on every single fruit type on every single economy difficulty. So let me pull up my chart here. I made a chart, of course. So in easy difficulty, apples will sell for $5,699 per 1,000 liters. Cherries at $6,600. Plums at $53.99. Or yeah, cherries 60. Yeah, plum $53.99. Pears at $62.99. So cherries are the best down the line. Then at normal, there's the prices there, and on hard, there's the prices there. All these prices, like I mentioned, are per 1,000 liters. So it is interesting to note that you're going to get more for cherries. So why not just do more cherry trees? I don't think, if I remember correctly, going in here, yeah, all the trees cost $400 to place. So there's no difference in price, and there's no difference in what they're going to take as far as manure and water goes. So I don't see any advantage other than doing cherries. Though it is important to note, if you are just doing cherries, you may need more farm shops, because again, you're only going to be able to sell, if you have 100 cherry trees, you're only going to be able to sell so much through the farm shop at one time. Though you can place more farm shops to kind of solve that. So if you are just trying to get the farm shop full and you want to just have one farm shop, then yeah, it does make sense to have more than one type of fruit, even though they're selling for different values. And yes, those are the values they sold at. That's the total. Some of them are kind of weird numbers, but that is kind of how it all rolled. So anyhow, this is the end of my tutorial for the fruit portion of this. Again, we already went through the production buildings last time, and these are those pallets. There's nothing else in the productions, hive honey, or fruit trees that I believe I missed, so that should be everything. Anyhow, if you enjoyed this tutorial, please drop a like down below. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button up on your screen to join the channel, and turn on your notification bell so you don't miss any future tutorials, guides, tests, or gameplay videos that I may post. This has been Farmer Cup, guys. Thank you for coming and watching.